Did you know the iconic film Footloose is celebrating 40 years this year? Join me as we go back to 1984. Welcome to the Sound Museum. I'm Leo, and today we're going back to 1984 and we're celebrating the 40th anniversary of Footloose by Kenny Loggins. In celebration of the 40th anniversary of the film Footloose, I have done a special podcast episode celebrating the Footloose soundtrack. So make sure you head online to your favorite podcast provider and listen to that episode. So many great songs from the Footloose soundtrack. But for this video, I'm going to react to a live performance from Kenny Loggins from 1986. This looks the wrong kind of party, right? Pluto? What's going on? I think this is from an award ceremony or some live event because, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Okay, so we've got live vocals, which is very rare in the 80s because on most TV shows it was all mimed back in those days, but this is definitely a live vocal. Great song. He co-wrote the song and co-produced it for the film Footloose, and just an iconic song. I was there back in the 80s, in 84, and I remember the song so well. Even if you weren't around in the 80s, maybe your parents were, but you'll know the song. It's iconic. The 80s here, people. It was the 80s. Okay. He sounds really good here. Back in those days, there were no in-ear monitors, so it was all live. They had like a speaker pointing towards the artists on stage. They can hear themselves, but there was no in-ear monitors. So you had to really know how to sing and how to use your voice back in those days. And he's doing pretty good. Got a grunt there, we love that. Now, he was quite older. He was in his maybe late 30s at that stage. I'm not sure. But yeah, so back in those days in the 80s, pop stars weren't like young kids. They were sort of all ages. It was all kind of organic and all about the music. Much different to now. Much different. You ready? I love that bit. Oh my God, such a great section of a song. Amazing. The 80s fashion, people. Oh, you can't beat it. It all comes round, you know. I mean, all those old 80s fashion moments and hairstyles, they all come back around. It's all good. The crowd are loving this performance. Ugh. Great crowd. Such a great performance from Kenny Loggins from 1986, a couple of years after Footloose. And at that point, everyone knew the song. And that is, of course, from the film Footloose starring Kevin Bacon. If you haven't seen it, hop online to your favourite streaming service and check it out. It's very of its time, but has an amazing soundtrack. And make sure you check out my podcast episode all about the Footloose soundtrack. Thank you so much for tuning in again, and make sure you give me a like and a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.